to another live stream. So I was going to do this next month, but I've decided in my mind to perhaps do a bit of it tonight. Because the plan is, during March, originally was to do a video, a live stream like this, to answer people's questions regarding cruises. Perhaps those that have never been on one, or are perhaps due to go on a cruise. Whether you go with a TUI, which is a British cruise line, you go with P&O, you go with Saga, you go with Celebrity, you go with Virgin Atlantic, not Virgin Atlantic, but Virgin Cruises, you can go with them, or Disney, you've got Disney Cruises. So I'm going to stick to the Marella cruises for now, because obviously a lot of people that watch my live feed or my general videos probably don't live in the UK, so won't be familiar with TUI or Marella. But basically, a lot of the questions that people ask regarding cruises are pretty much the same. Like, what's the check-in process like? Or what's the Wi-Fi packages that you can get on board? Different things and entertainment that you get on board. So I'm just going to stick to a few questions that I know in my own mind that people ask quite a lot. So if you go with TUI, obviously when you board the ship, you will get a cruise news in your cabin, which is basically a pamphlet, probably 3 or 4 pages, and inside there it contains all the details regarding what the entertainment is, what to expect at the restaurants, when the restaurants are open, how to go about ordering things on board, maybe having your photographs, maybe going for a spa treatment, having your hair done on board, what to expect in the shops, what different offers are on, the photographs that you can buy, especially when you have the captain's gala night, which is now called the Dress to Impress. Other cruise lines obviously have a captain's gala where you dress up usually on a day at sea, and obviously you meet the captain and his officers. You get to have photographs with them, well, with the captain primarily. But obviously he introduces you to all of the staff that work on board. They're the ones in the restaurants, the chefs, the housekeeping team, the entertainment staff, destination services, which is where you can book your excursions off the ship, for going off the ship. So it's really interesting. Hello to you, Ahmed. It's interesting to basically go to these Dress to Impress nights or the gala nights. But again, cruises might not be everybody's cup of tea. That's fine if it isn't. But I like going on cruises, and as I've said in other videos, I've got one coming up in March. Hello again. So whichever questions you want to ask, feel free to ask them. Anyway, so whatever questions you want to ask, just ask away. Because obviously some people have said, well, what's the process at check-in, particularly at the port? Well, usually, yes, thank you for subscribing, whoever it is, at ColeSmith25 to subscribe. I tell you what, one thing on this, hello, I tell you what, ever since I've been doing these live streams, I have been gaining subscribers just like that. In fact, this last 3 days alone, I have gained 40 subscribers. Yes, I know you did, Royalty King. Thank you very much. It came up on my phone. I've gained 40 subscribers. So these live streams really do work, because my goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers. So when I first logged onto this about 5 or 6 minutes ago, I got 710 subscribers. So I've gained 40 in the last 3 days. Yes, no problem. So the idea is I don't want to chase subscribers. Well, the thing is, Deeps VR, I've had the channel since last March. I suggest you remove that comment, Jenny Blackthong09. I don't really want people putting comments like that on here, thank you. That's not appropriate. I'm trying to keep my channel as a, you could say a family channel. I get your point, but please don't put that, because other people will watch this. I don't want them to see comments like that, thank you. But I'm talking about cruises on ships, okay? So regardless of what you might think, don't put that, please. But anyway, You've totally thrown me off. But anyway, yes, so I've had my channel since last March. So yes, I had 200, that's 221, still good. I'm sure you'll get more subscribers on your channel, and I'll subscribe to yours when I go off this live stream. I'll find your channel and I'll subscribe, because I'll just click back on who's messaged and I will just click subscribe onto your channel. So don't worry about that. But yes, so when you get to a, thank you very much for doing that, Jenny Blackthong. Yeah, that's fine. I get it. No offense to you, Jenny, but I'm doing a video regarding cruises on ships, because a lot of people have been asking on social media about what to expect on board a cruise, how to go and book restaurants, specialty dining. So that's why I'm doing this video. So any out there that have done cruises even in the US, thank you very much, Deeps VR. That's why I'm doing this video. So, but yes, to book a specialty restaurant with Marella, you basically go on what's called in the UK, if you book it through TUI, Marella Cruise Control Hub. You can also use an app when you're on board the ship called Navigate.TUI. You can only use the app on board, and you can access it through the ship's Wi-Fi. Thank you very much, Roger King. You can use the ship's Wi-Fi to download the app, and you can also check your bookings that you've booked before you've gone on the cruise. So I'll give you an example. So if, for example, you're doing an itinerary that's based in, I don't know, Greece, and you're going from, let's say, Cyprus, and you're doing cruises to Turkey, to Cyprus, from Cyprus, so you're going to Turkey, you're going to the Greek islands, you're going to Athens, you're going to, I know, back to Turkey again. What's it like when you're in the dark on cruise? I've been on choppy seas, but it's not been too bad. It's been lovely, because a lot of the cruise ships have got stabilizers, so the ships generally can get through rough waters. And obviously the ships won't call at certain ports if the weather's really bad. They'll go somewhere else. So that's that. You can and you can take seasick tablets with you if you need to. You can even, they've all got doctors on board, medical centres on board as well. You can get sick tablets in airports, and you can even get a little wristband with a magnet on that is supposed to stop you feeling travel sick or sick on a ship. Because I remember taking one with me on my very first cruise, and I didn't need it, because you have to adapt to what's called your sea legs. So you get used to being on board, but sometimes when you go off the ship, you feel like you're still on the ship because you're moving. It feels like you're moving, but you're not. But that's called your sea legs. But you do get used to it. But what I was saying regarding itineraries around Greece, so if you're going from Cyprus, when you go on that Marella Cruise Control Hub in the UK, if you're booking it through a UK site, you generally put your booking reference in, and your date of departure and the lead passenger surname. And then obviously it will come up with the list of itinerary that you're doing and where you are each day. And then, so for example, if you leave Cyprus and you've got a day at sea, then obviously you're not going to be in a port. So the next day you might be in Crete. So you would click on your Crete day, the day that says Crete, and it will give you a list of the excursions that you can do on Crete. And then whichever one you want to book, you book it and you pay there and then. Then you get an email come through, and then when you go out to the ship, your ticket for your excursion is in the cabin. Because what happens on cruises, and this happens all over the world, a lot of the cruise lines are cashless. So they generally ask you to register a debit card, a Visa card, or deposit some cash, because everything on board is cashless. So whatever you spend on board comes out of a cabin account. And that means that only one person per cabin registers their card. So if there's a family of 4 of you, let's say, you might have 2 cabins. So it might be the mum and dad and the 2 of the children in a separate room. Let's say that's the case. So the dad in the one cabin would register his card, and perhaps the eldest child or adult in that room would register their card. Or you just register one debit card. But generally, if you've got 2 cabins, you generally have to register 1 card per cabin. So obviously, if it's little kids, then obviously you might just have 1 room. So you'd have a cabin for 4 or 5 people. And some cabins are interconnecting, so you can open the door and you go into the next person's room, and they can go into your room. But you generally have to register a debit card or deposit some cash either at reception or at check-in. But the advantage of booking things on board is so that it's all done and dusted. Could you get like a pass where you don't need to pay for food? Well, the thing is, a lot of cruises are all inclusive, so your food is actually included in the price, and you have a drinks package as well in the UK. So I'm going on a cruise next month, as I've said, and it's all inclusive. So you get a drinks package. So I can go to a bar and you get like a cabin card, you get like an onboard card, which acts as like a door key. And when you go to the bar and say, I would like a beer, you give the waiter your card, they swipe it through a machine, and it's generally got 000 on the receipt. But if you don't go all inclusive, beer and cigarettes, you can buy them in the shops on the ships, in the duty free. But again, whatever you buy comes out of your cabin account, which is why you have to register a card or deposit some money. So, but I generally register a debit card, and I very rarely spend a lot of money, to be fair. But regarding food, most of the restaurants are all included. They're all part of the all-inclusive. What happens if you have two cabins? How many cards then? Okay, that's an interesting question, Jenny. Mum and Dad, I suppose you might have to deposit some cash, maybe if you've got a separate room with kids in of that age. Or you can just register one card. Again, you'll have to ask maybe your cruise line. Well, if that was the case, then okay. I'm not sure about that, Razak. And the owner called me. I'm not sure about that question. I'm not sure about that. Sorry about that. I can't really answer that one. But anyway, a lot of the restaurants on board are part of the all-inclusive. So there's a few restaurants, though, that are classed as specialty restaurants. So you have to book them separately. If you book them on board, yes, it will come out of your cabin account. But I've got a restaurant booked for my cruise coming up called Kora La, which is Indian food. But they also serve Chinese. It's basically an Oriental restaurant. And it's £31.95. But everything's included in that price. So that's your starter, your main course, appetizers, your drinks, tea and coffee at the end, a dessert. It's all included. Because if you go to a restaurant either in the UK or in the US for a meal out, an Indian or a Chinese meal, you're going to be paying, I don't know, £30-40. Or if you're in America, I don't know, it might be $50 to $100 for a meal. I don't know. But whereas if you pre-book the restaurants before you cruise, you'll get the information in your cabin, generally on arrival, that you've got that booking, or you go on the app. And I'm sure other cruise lines have apps very similar where you can access all your bookings for your restaurants, your excursions, your spa treatments, everything. So that in that way, it's making your cruise less expensive then, because everything's paid for before you go. You've got the peace of mind to enjoy those things when you're on board without having to cough up extra money again. So regarding entertainment on board, they always have quizzes. They have game shows, even for adults. They also have the cocktail demonstrations, and so there's cocktail demonstrations. They do the towel demonstration, which is the housekeepers. They get the towels and they make towel animals in your room, and some of them are really clever. I mean, I went into my cabin this one night and there was a little mouse on the bed. Not a real one, it was a towel. Can you do a cruise all-inclusive? Yeah, you can. They go from the Spanish ports, Malaga, Mallorca. I'm going from Tenerife, which is the Canaries, to go to Cyprus. This is next month. That's a reposition cruise. So they do cruise around the Canaries. They go to Madeira in Portugal, and you can go from Spain across to Europe. So you can do that's a reposition cruise. So you could go from Spain one way across to Europe, across to America, sorry, and the Caribbean. You get about 5 or 6 days at sea, but you can also go from the Caribbean back to Spain or back to Europe, whichever. So yes, you can do all inclusive in Spain. Whichever port you go from, a lot of cruise lines are all inclusive. There may be some that are perhaps half board, where you have to pay for drinks, but most cruises are all inclusive, and that includes for kids as well. Obviously, they wouldn't have a drinks package, but they can have a drinks package, but obviously won't have alcohol. But they can have all the fruit juices are all available. As much tea and coffee as you want. You get tea and coffee in your cabins. You get kettles in your room. You get irons. You get air dryers. You can even have your laundry done on the ship as well, where the cabin stewards will take your laundry. You usually get a bag in the room. You put all the laundry in that. You fill the paper in, and then it's about £19 English money. What they do, they fold all your clothes, they wash them, they put them back in the bag, bring it back to your room. Saves you doing washing when you get back. Because who wants to start washing when you get back from a holiday? When you've had you don't want to be starting that, do you? Because your mind's not with it. Where everything's done for you when you're on the ship. So that's why I like going on cruises like that, because I'm not taking a lot of clothes for this cruise because I'm going for 8 days, but 5 of those days are at sea. Not all in one go. I've got 2 days from Tenerife to Spain, and then obviously I'm going from Spain to Malta, which is 1 day, and then I'm going from Malta 2 days to Cyprus. So in that time, I've got 5 days at sea, and I'm going to obviously dress up for the captain's night. Big storms. Why are you asking about big storms? I wouldn't worry about it, to be fair. Around the Mediterranean, around this time of year, it's pretty calm. But in storms, if they cancel your cruise, they will let you know, I'm sure. That's regarding flights as well. They might alter your cruise. I've never really been in a big storm on a cruise, to be honest. The sea's been a bit choppy, but apart from that, it's really calm. The Adriatic's really calm, which is Dubrovnik, as well, down to Malta and Corfu, that side, Montenegro, that side's pretty calm. The Aegean Sea near the Greek islands, that's pretty calm as well. So I wouldn't worry about it, to be honest. It doesn't put me off going on cruises just because of storms. Obviously, if anything major happens, that's why you should take out cruise insurance, because if anything does happen, at least you can claim your money back and maybe rearrange a cruise for another time. But I wouldn't worry too much, Jenny, about storms, to be honest. I mean, the UK's weather can be rubbish, which is why I like going abroad. We get a lot of rain in the UK, a lot of floods, a lot of storms in the UK. That's why I like going abroad. I'm sure there are worse places out there for storms, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. Just go on a cruise and just enjoy it. Even if you go on your first one, you'll probably find that you're hooked, as I found out in 2016. And I've done about 14, 15 cruises. And the way you work out how many you've done, and there's an interesting thing, to work out how many cruises you've done, you basically add up all the weeks that you've been away. So if you do a 2-week cruise, that's 2 cruises, because each cruise has a different itinerary. So if you do a month's cruise, that's 4 weeks, isn't it? So that's 4 cruises, 4 different itineraries. So, and if you do more than 2 or 3 a year, you might have 7 cruises in 1 year. So I started cruising in 2016. My mum and dad took me on my first one, and we did Israel, and we went to Beirut. Interesting, all of them. Went to Jerusalem, went to Bethlehem, went to the Dead Sea. It was fantastic. I was literally a few miles from Patra, which is another place I want to go. And if you've watched Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, at the end, they go to Patra. I really want to go and see that, and I would love to do a YouTube series over there. I tell you, I really would. And also do a Nile cruise, go to the pyramids again, because I went when I was 14. I'd love to go back to Egypt, go to the Valley of the Kings, Tutankhamun's tomb. I would love to do a cruise down the Nile and do a series on this channel and do live streams, because I tell you what, there'll be loads of people watching, I'm sure, people subscribing like you guys have been doing. West coast of France. Yes, that's true, it is. I've never cruised down there, so I suppose if you went from Southampton in the UK down there, yeah, it might be choppy. I've flown over the Bay of Biscay to go to Faro. And also we actually flew back over there to come back from Alicante when I went to Benidorm back in November. So I know the weather can be choppy down there, Jenny. I completely get your point. But I'm going from the Canaries, so next month, which is pretty all right, I think. I mean, I think the temperature over there is pushing 29 degrees at the moment. I know Madeira can be funny for crosswinds with planes coming in, but again, I've never been to Madeira. So I'm not going to worry too much about it, to be fair. I am not going to worry too much about it, because I mean, thinking about it, actually now, I'm going to be going through 3 or 4 different oceans, because in Tenerife, you're literally in the Atlantic Ocean. And then I'm going to be sailing up up the side of Africa and going into the Mediterranean, under Portugal, under Gibraltar, following it to Spain, to Cartagena, and then I'm going from there to Malta, and then from Malta over to Cyprus. It's classed as the Aegean Sea and the Med. So there's at least 3 or 4 different seas I'm going to be going through. So you've got the Atlantic, the Med, the Aegean, and then back to the Med again. So I'm literally covering quite a big... It's literally a cruise like that. You're going up from Tenerife, under Spain, and then over to Malta, and then over to Cyprus. So it's literally like an upside down L shape like that, basically. Tenerife, down there, straight up to Spain, across to Malta, across to Cyprus. So I'm really looking forward to it. I really am looking forward to it. Can you find your true love on cruise? People have done, actually. Do youngsters go on cruises? Yes, they do, because a lot of the ships have kids clubs. With Marella, they've got one adult-only cruise line at the cruise ship at the moment. That is Marella Explorer 2. I know Marella Discovery 1 is becoming adult-only next year, 2026. But all the other ships have got kids clubs. So yes, teenagers can go on cruises. They've got obviously the swimming pools. They've got a games room. Obviously, like I said, they've got the kids club. There's obviously games for kids to do. You can, there's even a mini golf at the top of the Marella Discovery 1 and 2, and they've also got a climbing wall at the back as well. So you can go, the kids can go on that. On Explorer 2, they've got a mini golf on the top. That's for adults. Well, Explorer 1 has got a mini golf, and that's got a kids club. So yes, cruises are for kids. If you go on the TUI website, it will mention all that. By all means, take kids with you. Obviously, you're limited regarding luggage. They recommend you take about 20 kilos of luggage, but you can obviously pool it with each other's. People talk about 18 to 21. Well, yeah, again, you can. Adult-only cruises start from age 18. So if you're younger than 18, then obviously you can't go on the cruise. The kid can't go on the cruise. Simple as that. But yes, you can take children on cruises, but obviously make sure you go on the ships that aren't adults only. So obviously you can take kids on Disney cruises, because they've got ships called Disney Magic. So you can go on them. Obviously there's loads of other cruise ships you can go on. But yes, it isn't just for old people. No, it isn't. It's for all ages. If you like doing it, and it's nice to wake up in a different port each day as well. One minute you go to sleep, one night you're in Spain, next morning you're in Italy, next morning you're in France, next morning you might be back in Spain again, or a couple of days later you might be in Greece. So it's nice to wake up in a different port and see different places. But my favourite itineraries are the Adriatic coast, because you go to Dubrovnik. So if you've watched Game of Thrones, definitely go there. Classed as King's Landing. They do Game of Thrones walking tours. You can sit on the replica throne on Lockram Island, because they use the gardens on there in the Game of Thrones series. They also filmed it down in Split. They filmed it near Dubrovnik. There's an abandoned hotel near Dubrovnik. They filmed part of the scenes there. There's lots of Game of Thrones shops. So Dubrovnik's been put on the map because of that. Obviously the Manchetta Tower on the city walls, that was used in the series as well. The fort was known as the Red Keep. That you can visit that. So definitely do that itinerary, because you go to Montenegro as well, Kotor, which is basically a fjord. If you go to Norway, you've got the fjords. Well, this one is in Montenegro, Kotor. It's absolutely stunning. Get up around 6 o'clock in the morning to watch the sailing if you're on a cruise. Beautiful scenery. Honestly, it's breathtaking. Obviously, you can go up to Zadar. You can visit the Croatian islands. You can go up to Venice. But again, regarding Venice, the ships dock in Trieste. So you generally have to get a coach round to Venice now, because they don't want cruise ships in Venice. They've stopped it. And obviously, they are on about introducing a tourist entry fee into Venice as well. So bear that in mind. That could happen. But again, in Venice, it's beautiful. I've been into St. Mark's Square. I went to the that church where in Indiana Jones, where they came up out the sewer, and Harrison Ford said, Venice. Well, I've been sat outside that church where it was filmed. So San Bernardo, it's called. San Bernardo Church in Venice is where they filmed part of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So definitely go and check that out. You can go to the Rialto Bridge. You've got the Grand Canal. Honestly, it's just amazing. So definitely do cruises around there. Why does Royalty King... I have no idea. It may be to do with my subscribers, Jenny. I have no idea. I'm not really fussed at the moment. Again, I'm not chasing subscribers, it's the views. I'm just doing this video for your benefit, for going on cruises or going travelling, sightseeing, wherever you want to go. That's why I'm doing this channel. I'm not doing it to gain subscribers, but yes, it's nice to gain them because it means that I can expand my field of YouTube. But I'm getting used to doing these live streams now. Yes, people join. That's fine. I'm quite happy with that, Royalty King. But it's definitely working for me. So people can subscribe when they want. My next major live stream is going to be on March the 4th. I'm going to be at the Zoo in Telford in Shropshire because I'll be doing the capybara experience. So for those of you that are on here now, please tune in. Make sure you subscribe because you'll get a notification on your devices to say I've gone live, and you'll be able to see me going up close to the capybaras, feeding them, stroking them. Because if you've watched, oh, thank you very much, Royalty King. Because if you've watched the news in the UK, obviously Cinnamon escaped her enclosure at the Zoo. Can you do live when you're on ships in Spain? Yeah, as long as I've got a signal. I don't recommend using your phone data when you're at sea on a cruise because your phone will pick up the ship's satellite and you'll find yourself with an expensive phone bill. You can get eSIMs and you can generally use your phone data when you're in port, or you can go to a restaurant and use free Wi-Fi. A lot of the crew go off the ship when it's in port and they go into the actual cruise port because it's free Wi-Fi, because a lot of people that are on are from the Philippines. They're away from their family for 9-10 months a year or even longer, depending on their contract. And it's also nice to meet other nationalities on board as well. They're from everywhere: Russia, Ukraine, Germany, France, Italy, everywhere. America, Jamaica, the Caribbean. Trust me, all the crew are from all over the world. And it's amazing to meet these people. And you do make friends. You really do. I've made friends with Filipinos on the cruise. I've made friends with Ukrainians on the cruise. I've made friends with Greeks on the cruise. It's basically like a united cruise. It's fantastic. It's like unity. It's lovely. Your cabin stewards, they can't do enough for you, honestly. Your room is always tidy. They leave a chocolate on your bed. They make sure that your towel animal is there. If you're celebrating an anniversary or a birthday, they go the extra mile. They'll leave a cake in your room. They'll leave chocolates and strawberries in the room. They'll leave a bottle of champagne in the room. They'll do a cake in the restaurant. The waiters will sing happy birthday or happy anniversary to you. The table will be decorated. You'll get your name put in the cruise news. Can you use WhatsApp? Yes, you can. At sea, well, again, don't use the ship's Wi-Fi because it's not worth it, honestly. If you get an eSIM, use that. Maybe look into getting one of them at an airport or finding out where you can get an eSIM. You can use WhatsApp when you're in port, but once you go out to sea, make sure that you turn the phone onto airplane mode, unless you're using eSIM Wi-Fi, and then obviously you can do all that. But as long as you're in port and you've got a land signal, you'll pick up your data. Because I'm with Tesco Mobile, which is O2. That's an English network. You might be with EE, you might be with Vodafone, you might be with Virgin or giffgaff or Three, or one of whichever network you're from. Need a little bit more people. Don't worry about it, Royalty King. Don't worry about it, honestly. The subscribers will just join when they want. I'm not fussed. I appreciate you helping me, but honestly, I'm going to be doing plenty more live streams yet, trust me. I've got loads to come. Obviously, I'm going to be doing the live stream at the Zoo. When I go into the capybara enclosure, I'm going to split it in half. So I'm going to do a 15-minute live stream when I'm in the enclosure with Cinnamon, and then I'm going to obviously do other videos, and then I'm going to upload them to the channel. Thank you, Jenny. I'm glad you're learning a lot. There's a lot of information on cruises. Honestly, there are a lot of cruise information. Thank you very much, Royalty King. I've got loads. I've done 3 this week: Rob Baston, Reese Heath, Trenton Monkey Forest, which is the only monkey forest in the UK where you can walk among 140 macaques. If you go to Gibraltar, you'll see the same kind of monkey at the top of the rock if you go up on the cable car. But yeah, honestly, I do love my videos. And the reason I'm doing this channel, I'm going to let you all into a little, not a secret, but a little reason why I've decided to do this channel, because when I was younger, I did have kind of issues as a baby, medical issues, okay? So over the years, because of those issues, which I won't go into because I've mentioned them on another video, I have developed autistic traits. Okay, I might not look autistic by what I'm doing, but believe me, unless you live with me, you won't know the situation. But an autistic person, okay, I'll subscribe to yours, Royalty King. An autistic person has a set routine, and despite my issues, I've achieved a lot of things. Believe me, I've got a job. I work as a cleaner 4 evenings a week. I've got 3 days off work a week. So I like to go travelling, do many breaks. I did 8 last year, 8 mini breaks abroad, 8 series on here. I went to Croatia twice. I went to Benidorm twice. Hello, Julian. But despite having autistic traits, I've been on cruises on my own. I've been on holidays on my own, many breaks on my own. And believe me, I love meeting people. And most autistic people might not even dare set foot out the house. They might not even be able to work because of their issues. They might have really, really strong anxiety. And don't get me wrong, I have that as well sometimes. I get anxiety and I struggle mentally sometimes. I do have breakdowns. But honestly, it's really helped me. Having this channel has really helped me because I've met people, I've done YouTube since last March, and honestly, I would never have expected it to take off like it has. It's really taken off. And I'm going to be doing a live stream. Yes, I do, Julian, yes, I do. On the 5th of March is the anniversary of the channel. So I want to see how many subscribers I'm going to have then, how many views, how many videos. But honestly, I do enjoy doing the channel because it gives you guys out there something to watch if you're bored. And it also gives you advice on anything. In this case, cruises we're talking about on here, and also other blogs that I've done as well. Camper van travelling. Yeah, okay, videos travelling about the UK. Do you do any on that? No, I don't do camper van videos, but I'm sure other people do. I generally don't really like going on holidays in the UK. I think the weather puts me off, to be honest. Not that I don't mind going on day trips out. I've done plenty of them. Last year I did loads. I went to Chester Zoo, went to Shrewsbury Prison, went to Dimmingsdale, went to obviously Peak Wildlife Park loads of times, went to Twycross Zoo. I've been to loads of places. There's parts of Wales that I haven't been on with YouTube yet, which I'd like to do. I'd like to go to Conway Castle, Llandudno, Port Maddox, Snowdonia, do the Festiniog Railway, go to Llangollen. I would love to do videos over there in Wales, but I'm more of an abroad person. I mean, I went to Prague in December, loved it. First time there, absolutely loved it. Fantastic city. It was just before the Christmas period, and it was chilly, but I don't think I'll be doing any camper vans, Jenny. Sorry, I haven't even got a camper van, and I don't fancy doing it. I'm sure you can watch other channels that do that, but not for me. I'm more of a cruiser and going on planes, like with Jet 2 and TUI. So that's what I like doing. But anyway, going back to cruises, if you've never done it before, definitely do it. It's worth doing, believe me. You won't be disappointed. Some people might be thinking, oh no, I won't go on a cruise because I'll get seasickness. Again, there's ways to combat that, honestly. Your cruise is how you make it. You always make friends on cruises. I always do. I've even met a celebrity on a cruise. So if you watch The Chase in the UK, there's Mark Lebet, who was the Beast. I met him on Morella Spirit, which was Thompson Spirit, which got scrapped in 2018. He was a guest speaker on the last cruise of the Spirit in 2018, and I got to meet him. I had a photograph with him, and I tell you what, he is as tall as this roof. He is a really tall guy, but he was so down to earth. But yes, I've met Mark Lebet, one of the chasers off the telly. And when I was in Dubrovnik, I had Harrison Ford walk past me, and I was in shock. I mean, I wanted to say hello to him, but I was in shock because of who it was. I knew, and he was staying in Dubrovnik because he was taking a break from filming his last Indiana Jones film. But he was out there with his wife and his son. But yes, he walked past me in Dubrovnik. So Harrison Ford was literally stone's throw from me. He walked right past me. As I was walking out of the old town, he walked this way towards me as I went that way. Honestly, brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. And if you watch the Benidorm series, which is a UK comedy. I've met celebrities off there. I've met Darren, who wrote the show. I met Chrissy Rock. I met Sean Foster Connolly. Paul Chuckle's been out there at the moment in Vanidorm this last couple of weeks, who starred in Chuckle Vision, which is a kids programme in the UK. His brother Barry sadly died a few years ago. I would have loved to have met him, but I have met several celebrities when I've been away, and obviously in the UK and on cruises. So yeah, you do meet people, honestly, you do meet them. And it was the Mac Master that inspired me to start this channel. So subscribe to him. That's Lee Davey, known as the Mac Master. It's at the Mac Master on YouTube, at Mac Master on YouTube. So find his channel, Lee Davey. He does a lot of EV videos, which is electronic cars. Does a lot of food reviews. He's just been to Benidorm. He's gone over to Tenerife now. But again, these people have inspired me to start my channel. But I'm really grateful to all you guys out there that have watched this. It's taken me over half an hour to do this video. I hope I'm not boring any of you, please. I really hope not. But if you have any other questions on cruises, please leave a comment under this video. I'm sure I've answered quite a lot of your questions while I've been on this stream. But I'm sure I'm going to have plenty more coming up soon. As I say, definitely try it. Definitely try the specialty restaurants. Definitely watch the entertainment on the ship. Also, they do a lot of nice shows on board. They also have a guest speaker on board or a comedian. So definitely do that. The shops, you can usually buy duty-free stuff. You can buy a few souvenirs. You can buy basic toiletries. You can even ask, I mean, if it's in the cruise news, you can generally do a bridge tour where you can go up onto the bridge of the ship. But that will be generally when the ship's in port. But again, you have to check your cruise news or the Navigate app for that. Obviously, when you board, you have to do the muster drill, where you watch the safety video in your cabin, go and get your card scanned. You can also watch it through the Navigate app as well. Go and get your card scanned, and then you're clear. You're done. But there's always entertainment. You can go and sit in the pool. You can go in the jacuzzi tub. You can eat when you want, drink when you want. There's always tea and coffee. They have live bands on board. It's absolutely a fantastic atmosphere. You always make new friends. You get to go to different ports. I've got a trip on Malta booked when I go on this cruise. I've been to Ephesus in Turkey. I've been to the Acropolis in Athens. That's another good trip to do. Rome, do the Colosseum. That gets booked up quite often though. You can also visit the Vatican City. You can visit that when you're in Rome. You can go to the Tower of Pisa. You can go into Florence where they filmed things like Hannibal. You can just go around the town of Pisa and Florence, absolutely beautiful cities in Tuscany. You can do trips to Pompeii. You can go to the Amalfi Coast. You can go to Sorrento. You can go to Capri. You can go to Corfu, do trips there. I'm going on my own. Yes, I am next month. I love going solo. I have been with my family on cruises. I've been with my cousin. But I do love going on my own, Jenny, because I love meeting new people, and I always meet people, even people off the Facebook groups, because I'm a member of all the Facebook groups for the cruises. That's Morella Discovery, Discovery 2, Explorer 1, Explorer 2, and the Voyager. I've been on Morella Dream, I've been on Morella Celebration, and I've been on Morella Spirit. So I've done all those ships. And obviously, though, several of them have gone because they got scrapped, because of obviously age and obviously COVID hit, didn't it? So those ships got scrapped, and they were the best because they were smaller, but the community on board was lovely with the staff. The crew made the ship. It was brilliant. Absolutely. And it was a very emotional last cruise on the Thompson Spirit, Morella Spirit, back in October 2018, which is the one where I met Mark Labatt, the chaser. But honestly, those ships converted me. So the bigger ship I've been on is the Explorer 2, which is adult only. Fantastic. But again, I haven't, it's not so much having a good job. I've saved a lot of money. Yes, I have been a lot of them. I do save my money. But yes, and other people have helped me out regarding going on cruises. So it does help. But I've been with family, and obviously, like I say, I just save up my money. So, and I've got my own car, so it's no issue driving to an airport. My closest airport's East Midlands, which is literally just under 30 miles away. Then there's Manchester, which is just under 60 miles away. Birmingham, that's about 45 miles away. So all three of those airports I regularly fly from when I go on trips away. I'm going from East Midlands on this cruise next month, staying overnight in the hotel prior to going. And I'm obviously going to be doing videos, live streams. So yeah, I'm in close proximity to all three airports. Obviously, Liverpool's the next one up because Jet2 go from there now. Leeds Bradford's the next one up. How much do cigarettes and beer cost? No idea. I don't smoke. But I know my dad's bought cigarettes for people back home. But I don't smoke. Beer, you generally don't buy that on a cruise. You generally have it in a bar. But they sell whiskies in the shops on board, and vodkas and rums and things, and Jack Daniels. You can get all them. But again, I don't smoke, so I don't know the cost of cigarettes. You're probably averaging 30 to 40 quid, maybe more. I don't know. But I don't smoke, honestly. So I can't really answer that question. But obviously, if you want fags, just go down the local shop. But yeah. But apart from that, everything on board is included. The staff are wonderful. And the other thing is they always remember you. It's amazing. The amount of people that cruise, they remember your face or your name. And a lot of them like to keep in touch on social media. And I've got quite a few friends on my social media that are on cruises. And in fact, one of the bands that's on this ship I'm going on in March, Morella Discovery 2, they were on Explorer 2 back in October 2023 when me, my mum, my dad, my brother and my auntie and uncle went on a cruise. And then I met Eve, who's in the band Euphoria, which is the band that's on this ship, and I met on Explorer 2. I met her on Morella Dream in 2019. So there's 6 years almost of friendship. Is it nice there? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But yeah, I love meeting people, honestly. I really do. So I may meet some of you guys one day if you're out and about. Do you ever meet any stars? Well, as I've said, I met Mark Labette, who was the chaser. So if you watch the UK programme of The Chase, Mark Labette's one of the chasers, known as the Beast. Well, I met him on the Morella Spirit in 2018, and I've got a picture of him because I had my picture taken. So yes, I have met him. He's one of the stars. But anybody else, not really, no. So I know somebody that was on a cruise and she met Harry Redknapp, who used to be a footballer. So she met him on a cruise, but it wasn't a Morella ship. It was, I think it was a P&O cruise ship that she went on, but she met him on board, Harry Redknapp. So people have met celebrities on board cruises. Yes, they have. And obviously Jane McDonald's done cruises and Susan Calman on the TV. So they've obviously done cruises and they've been on Morella ships and other cruises as well. So, but yeah, it's definitely worth doing, believe me. My nan goes on cruises. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. It's absolutely fantastic, honestly. And the other thing about going solo I love as well is when you go into the main restaurant and I'm standing there and the maitre d' manager will say, oh, how many in your party? I'll say, oh, it's just me. And then they go and put you on a table with 5 or 6 other people. And honestly, you might not know them from Adam, but before you know it, you've made friends because you start asking each other, well, how many cruises have you done? Which ships have you been on? And it's amazing how many people you can meet. And I'm probably going to gain subscribers on the cruise because I'm obviously going to mention to people, well, I've got a YouTube channel. This is the channel title. This is my YouTube address. Please add me or take a screenshot and I'll get people subscribing like you guys are doing on here on this live stream. So that's how it works. And there may be some people on the cruise that I will meet that have said, oh, we've been watching your YouTube videos. You're that YouTuber, we really love your videos. It's helped us. Well, I'm glad it does. Yes, he was the boss of Tottenham. You're right, he was. Yes, Jenny, he was. So that's who she met, Harry Redknapp. But anyway, so I always love meeting people. So I know this video is quite lengthy at the moment, but thank you so much, everybody out there that's commented on here so far. I really do appreciate it. I may do another video soon regarding cruises because obviously I want people to watch this, and I may even post it on the group chats as well. So not on the group chats, on the group pages on social media, so that people can watch it because I've answered a lot of people's questions actually. So I hope it's helped a lot of you out there that have cruised before or have perhaps never cruised or about to, because it just gives you an idea of what to expect. It's given you a bit of a flavour of what to expect because honestly you might find it really daunting because you think, oh no, you won't get me on one of them. But trust me, you won't regret it. You will absolutely not regret it. So again, please subscribe if you haven't, at ColeSmith25. That's my YouTube channel address, at ColeSmith25. It's Cole's Travel, Cruise and Sightseeing channel. So I hope this has helped. So see you guys in the next video, which will be my live stream from the Who Zoo at 10:30 on Tuesday, March the 4th. Please be ready for that. I'm glad you've learned stuff, Royalty King. Please continue to watch my videos. March the 4th is my next live stream. I may do some more before then. I am on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Snapchat. You can find the links to those on my YouTube page. Well, don't be scared, Jenny, because believe me, I was a bit apprehensive when I went on my first one. But believe me, I was hooked when I come home. Absolutely hooked. And within 6 months, I was back on another one with Mum and Dad. I gate crashed their anniversary. And then I went the following year with my cousin, and then I went on my first one on my own for a week from Dubrovnik, and that's when I first got to know about Croatia, and I absolutely loved it. Then I went again in 2018 with Mum and Dad, went again on the ship's final sailing on the Spirit. The following year I went on the Celebration, and then I went on Morella Dream. Well, don't be. It's honestly fantastic, believe me. You don't even feel the ship moving sometimes. It's absolutely calm as anything. Don't be put off. Don't be put off by it. Believe me, just give it a go. I mean, I know in the UK they do offer mini cruises from like Southampton to Amsterdam and back. Well, Southampton to Holland and down to the Channel Islands and back to the UK. So that's only 3 or 4 nights. But that gives you a flavour of what to expect if you did a bigger cruise. Because some people might not want to fly to a certain place. So, because you can go from Newcastle upon Tyne in the UK over to the Norwegian fjords. I'd love to do that cruise. You can go from Southampton, so you can take as much luggage as you want if you go from the UK. You haven't got to fly. You just get picked up by a coach from your hometown or your home city or whatever, or the nearest place to your hometown or city, and then you just go straight to the port with your luggage, and then you're on your cruise. So it's fantastic. But I don't mind flying. But obviously with flying, you're limited to about 20 kilos of luggage. But generally, and you get about 10 kilos of hand luggage generally allowed as well. But honestly, it's worth it, believe me. You might think, oh, it costs a lot of money, which it can do, but that price includes your food and your drink for the duration of your cruise. So just take advantage of it. You've got as much food and drink on board as you want. Obviously, you book the specialty restaurants on board. There's quite a few. There's usually 3 or 4 you can book. Snapchat, yes, I've got Snapchat. So you can probably find that on my links. Or you can leave a comment on one of my videos and I can obviously mention my Snapchat to you. I'd rather not mention it on here. And the same with my Instagram or my Facebook. But my links are on my page. So you can always send a request on there if you want to keep in touch. I love keeping in touch with people. As long as you're asking questions to do with travelling and cruising and sightseeing, I'm more than happy to be in touch. I'd love to meet some of you one day. I'm sure I will. If you ever see me videoing anytime, or whoever sees me videoing that subscribes when I'm out and about or on cruises, come and say hello, be on the footage, and say, hello, I'm a viewer of your channel, because I will love to meet you. The Map Master meets people when he goes abroad, and he's got over 220,000 subscribers, and he always meets people that watch his channel, because he does set videos on a set time, whereas I just do them when I can do them. But he's got over 64 million views. And he makes a living on it. I mean, I'd love to do that one day. I mean, we'll see how it goes. But obviously, the next live stream is now March the 4th, 10:30. I'm going to be at the Who Zoo in Telford in Shropshire. No, it might not, right, Royalty King. But leave a comment on one of my videos, on my playlist, and I will send you my Snapchat if you want to keep in touch on there. And obviously, Instagram as well and Facebook. But thank you for watching. I'm going to end this live stream now because I've been on it for quite a while. So thank you very much. And it's at ColeSmith25 to subscribe. Comment on my videos, like them. It doesn't matter which one. You can ask me on any of the videos and I'll reply back to you for my social media platforms. If you want to follow me on there or to message me on there, you can use my social media platforms. But leave a comment on one of my videos and I can mention it on there. So it's at ColeSmith25. Thank you so much for watching. Do you ever do meet and greet? I have thought about it. I did once. Well, I wouldn't say meet and greet. It was like APH Parking at Birmingham. and Manchester, where you basically park your car and then you get the bus to the terminal at the airport. See you in March. Okay, well, if you want to keep in touch, Royalty King, just comment on one of my videos and I'll send you my Snapchat over. But yeah, meet and greet. I generally book the car park at the airport, like Manchester. I've used Terminal 2 West for Jet 2, or Terminal 2 East, which is literally outside. East Midlands. If yes, how much? What would you get that? I don't know. I'm not sure. East Midlands, I generally park on short stay or mid stay 3, something like that. Meet and greet, it can average around 90 quid. Again, it depends how long you go for. Check the airport websites, it will tell you on there. If you put the date that you're travelling and when you're travelling back, it will generally tell you how much it will cost. But I haven't really used meet and greet. Obviously, you have to hand your key in, and then they park your car somewhere, and then you go off on your holiday, you come back, go to the office, you get your key, you get your car, and you drive home. I generally just park the car and take the keys with me. So, okay, I'll get back to you soon, Royalty King, don't worry. So, thank you for watching. Meet and greet you. No, I don't. No. Anyway, I'm going to end this video now. So, thank you for watching. Please subscribe at CarlSmith25. I will do another video soon, and I'll be at the Who's Who on the 4th of March. I'm going to do some videos prior to that, and then at 10:30 I'm doing the live stream where you'll be able to see me enter the enclosure of the capybaras, and you'll get to see Cinnamon and her family, me feeding them and stroking them, etc. So thank you very much, Jenny. Yes, you can comment on my videos if you want to keep in touch as well. Thank you for watching, and good evening, everybody. And thank you so much again for subscribing. See you guys in the next video.